When it comes to me actually fighting anyone, I just keep the door open. I'm still in the UFC's drug testing pool. I get drug tested, blood tested all the time. The door is open. If I feel like, John, if I get that calling, maybe from like the higher powers, just kind of that tugging, then I'm going to have to answer that call. But right now, I feel like I'm in the right place, which is serving someone else. See, as long as I'm in the drug testing pool, the UFC are contractually obligated to offer me a few fights a year. I haven't heard anything from them in a while. And right now, my main focus is just being a good dad, being a good family man. When I get offered to fight, that's going to be great. And we'll see how I feel when that time comes. But yeah, things were great. It was good to see Dana the other day. We laughed. We took a good photo together. In order to do big business, you can't hold grudges. I've made Dana millions of dollars over the years, and he's made me millions of dollars over the years. And so it's not always about how you feel about a person. It's just like, can we still work together? Can we still do business together? I feel like we're always going to be able to make money together. Will I be invited to his house on Christmas? Probably not. But the guy changed my life. And he is a homie for life.
As we all know, you've had the ups and downs. If you could do it all over again, what would you change?
Oh. Well, I became a little bit of a party boy when I was young. And sometimes I ask myself, John, how much farther would you have been if you would have never started with the alcohol? I feel all my setbacks in life have been directly related to alcohol. I've been able to achieve some amazing things and reach some pretty amazing heights. But I feel like things could have been even much, much higher if I would have never gotten into partying. So to all you young athletes out there, just keep things in check, keep things in check. I guess that's what I'll say. I've had like 5 or 6 years of inactivity right in the middle of my career.
I was looking 6 years, so quite a bit.
That's quite
Quite the homie. How would you describe the relationship with Dana these days? I know you guys have the online back and forths, but behind the scenes, how would you describe the relationship?
I feel like in order to do big business, you can't hold grudges. You gotta be able to let bygones be bygones. You have to be able to work with people that you don't love, and I've made Dana millions of dollars over the years, and he's made me millions of dollars over the years. And so it's not always about how you feel about a person. It's just like, can we still work together? Can we still do business together? And I feel like we're always going to be able to make money together. And so, will I be invited to his house on Christmas? Probably not. But the guy changed my life, and he is a homie for life. And despite how he feels about me, I'm always going to give him that respect.
And you're almost 40 years old. The maturity, I think, also speaks to that, right? Where it's like you understand the context of these relationships now, moving forward, and not holding grudges. We saw you have the heart to heart with Alex Pereira as well too. So
Yeah,
that also is the evolution of Jon Jones, isn't it?
absolutely. Being able to say, I'm sorry, hey, I'm wrong, or hey, maybe, hey, I used to be an asshole. Like, whatever it may be, it's about learning, growing, acknowledgement, self-awareness, and just trying to be better. Just trying to leave a positive mark on the universe.
You being linked to this Alexander Usyk fight, that he apparently has Wilder in mind and yourself for his final farewell fight. We know your situation with the UFC. It's been up and down. The contract, you've been wanting to renegotiate, get out of it. But would you be interested in that Alexander Usyk boxing match if it's presented to you?
No, not at all. Usyk is Usyk, man. He's one of the absolute goats of boxing, of heavyweight boxing. I also am aware that he does wrestling, and that wrestling has been a heavy part of his training for many years. It's probably why he's so dominant in the clinch. If he'd like to test his total combat skills, I would oblige him in that. But to handicap myself by only using my hands, I mean, that's not the world that I come from. So out of all of the heavyweight boxers, I do see Usyk having the highest potential in making it competitive. But I am no boxer, and I don't really consider Usyk to be a complete fighter. I think the world knows what would happen if we were locked in the same room. And I'll just leave it at that.
Gotcha. So definitely MMA, you would be interested, but boxing, you're going to pass.
Now I'm gonna pass. Yeah, the
Right.
way I respect him in the ring, he should respect me.
Here comes Jon Jones, and the whole fighting scene is in anticipation. Following a period of indecision and even hints that he was retiring, the former heavyweight champion is now in training for another shot at the ring. Videos of him training, provocative remarks, and even rumors have sparked interest, with people already asking who the likely opponent in his next fight will be. Will Jones show why he is one of the best fighters around, or does his comeback have a surprise up its sleeve?
Right now in your life and career, and is fighting in any kind of sport, whether it's bare knuckle, boxing, MMA, is that of interest to you?
I just did flag football recently. That was pretty intense. Our team beat Doug Flutie. That was pretty intense. It wasn't much combat sport, but it was competitive, which was fun. When it comes to me actually fighting anyone, I just keep the door open. I'm still in the UFC's drug testing pool. I get drug tested, blood tested all the time. Um, I'm living vicariously through my buddy Gable Steveson right now. I tell everybody that, being backstage, being around the fans, seeing that passion, being in the training gym, I get to do it all over again through Gable. And so I'm giving him my absolute best, teaching him everything I know about the sport. And that's been really fulfilling for me. I think for a lot of fans as well. They're like, John, when are you going to come back? And those same fans, they're like, hey, welcome back, Coach Jones. So I'm getting my itch. I feel like I'm giving their fans their itch, but I'm just doing it I'm doing it with a younger generation fighter. And I feel like that's what life's all about. As we grow and as we learn, as we progress, it's important to have our own prodigies, whether that's in journalism or photography or MMA. It's important to put somebody else on at some point in your life. And that's what I'm doing now. And honestly, it's fulfilling. Not as fulfilling as being in the ring or in the octagon, but it is scratching that itch. I can genuinely say I'm happy right now.
From what I'm gathering, it sounds like the door is still open. We don't know how many percent shut it
I
is.
I never quite answered your question. I'm sorry. The door is open. Like I said, I'm still in that drug testing pool. I'm just allowing time to fly by focusing on somebody else. And if I feel like, John, if I get that calling, maybe from like the higher powers, just kind of that tugging, then I'm going to have to answer that call. But right now, I feel like I'm in the right place, which is.
We saw you have the heart-to-heart with Alex Pereira as well too. So
yeah,
that also is the evolution of Jon Jones, isn't it?
Absolutely. Being able to say, I'm sorry, hey, I'm wrong, or hey, maybe, hey, I used to be an asshole. Like, whatever it may be, it's about learning, growing, acknowledgement, self-awareness, and just trying to be better. Just trying to leave a positive mark on the universe somehow.
Mm-hmm. With looking at the current UFC picture, we talk about Chama. He lost to Cyril Gane at the White House event, an event you that wanted to be a part of, as we all came to find out it wasn't able to happen. But with that fight, the first encounter between Gane and Tom Aspinall, he'll now be facing, was inconclusive. How do you see it going a second time?
I think Gane's gonna win. I believe Gane's gonna win. I mean, when you become the champion and you beat a man like Alex Pereira, it has to do something for your confidence. And even in Gane's first fight with Tom Aspinall, Tom was looking pretty invincible until Cyril Gane. And most people feel like Gane was winning that fight. And so I feel like Gane's confidence has to be at an all-time high.
Considering the fact that his comeback has started to seem more feasible, Jones has made an announcement about his current health status, which appears quite positive. The former heavyweight MMA title holder claims that he currently feels absolutely fantastic physically, mentally, and spiritually, and even life outside the octagon proceeds well. But at the same time, Jones admitted that he has been suffering from arthritis for some time now and has decided to explore the opportunity of undergoing stem cell therapy after recently talking to Joe Rogan. Jones will not be rushing with the treatments and will try to get to know how his body reacts.
Hey, could you just talk about your overall health and where that is right now.
My overall health is great. I mean, mentally, spiritually, physically, I feel really good. I'm really happy. Business is going good. My kids are doing great. God's been really good to me. So I feel great. I do have arthritis. Just talked to Joe Rogan the other day, and he was just like, arthritis, stem cells isn't something you can just take once. It's something that compounds. So you need to go back in and, you need to continue getting these injections, and eventually you'll find yourself feeling amazing. So I'm going to take his advice. I just had that conversation with him last Friday. I'm going to take his advice and reach out to a company called Ways to Well out in Austin, Texas. It's where Joe Rogan gets all of his injections done. I'm going to go over there, get some stem cells, and just see how I feel. Yeah, I'm just taking it one day.
Nevertheless, Jones claims that his driving force has totally changed since the beginning of his career. In particular, the former champion stated that he does not experience any financial stress in entering the octagon once again because his management team and investments make him feel comfortable enough. The former fighter added that he does not chase money anymore. On the contrary, he tries to work with his partners and spends more time with his fans who support him. Jones claims interacting with his fans personally and giving something back to them became one of the most rewarding activities in his life.
At a time, really. But it's been great, man, because I have a great management team, first round management. Shout out to the Kawa family. These guys really keep me busy. And so, I don't need to fight anymore. And that's a good feeling, to not have the pressure of defending a belt or needing a check. I get to focus on other people today, the fans, by endorsing things like Real Nutrition and Ketone IQ, and being an ambassador for IBA and for Dirty Boxing. My main job now is face to face, giving back to the people that made this thing possible, which are the fans. That's my whole life now, and it's so rewarding. It is so rewarding to get to know the faces of the people that's been in the stands for all these years.
As the conversation continued, Jones also addressed his relationship with UFC CEO Dana White, offering a surprisingly respectful perspective despite their public disagreements over the years. He explained that successful business often requires putting personal differences aside, noting that he and White have both played major roles in each other's success. While Jones admitted they are unlikely to become close friends outside the sport, he emphasized that mutual respect remains intact. He credited White with changing his life and made it clear that regardless of any past tension, he believes they can always work together whenever the opportunity presents itself. Further in the interview, Jones elaborated on how different a person he has become because of his increased maturity, which has helped him to approach relationships and conflicts differently. He added that he has understood how important it is to acknowledge his mistakes, apologize for them when needed, and be truthful with himself about them. Personal growth, according to Jones, requires self-awareness, experience, and striving to be a better version of oneself every day. The most important thing for him now, however, is to have a good legacy left behind after all. He also elaborated on the current status of both his personal and professional life. Though he has managed to satisfy his competitive nature by participating in a flag football tournament recently, he clarified that he is not totally against making another comeback to the fight. Jones said that he still belongs to the drug testing pool of the UFC and undergoes tests regularly, making his comeback a possibility. However, he noted that most of his focus is directed toward training the Olympics champion Gable Steveson while enjoying the thrill of competing from the corner. Still, Jones confessed that the sport keeps him hungry for a comeback. In relation to this, Jones went further and stated that mentorship has renewed his life and given him a sense of purpose. Jones is of the view that people who get experience in something should share it with others, and that's what he does with Gable Steveson. According to Jones, coaching has not been able to replicate the adrenaline rush that comes from fighting within the octagon. However, he admitted that coaching has managed to help him fulfill his competitive urge and has made him very happy. It is worth noting that Jones indicated that he still has the opportunity to fight. This is because he has maintained himself in the UFC's drug testing pool for fights. Later in the interview, Jones also spoke about Dirty Boxing, the fast-growing combat sports promotion he has been helping to promote. Although he declined to reveal details about the next event, he described the format as a high-paced hybrid between boxing and MMA. Unlike traditional boxing, the rules allow elbows, spinning strikes, extended clinch exchanges, and a brief window for ground and pound before the action is restarted on the feet. Jones believes the concept is perfect for fans who enjoy the striking and intensity of MMA, but prefer less grappling, calling it an action-packed alternative that keeps the pace moving from start to finish. Then Jones also shared his thoughts on Conor McGregor's recent setback, focusing less on the injury itself and more on how McGregor has responded to it. He praised McGregor for continuing to speak openly about his faith despite facing another major obstacle, suggesting that difficult moments often reveal a person's true character. According to Jones, it would have been easy for McGregor to become angry or lose focus after such a disappointing outcome, but he believes McGregor has instead remained committed to his beliefs. From Jones's perspective, handling adversity with resilience and staying grounded is a sign of real personal strength. Continuing his thoughts, Jones said he believes McGregor's biggest victory has little to do with fighting. In his view, the former two-division champion has already achieved something more meaningful by using his platform to inspire others despite his flaws and setbacks. Jones described McGregor as an example of how someone can be imperfect yet still have a positive impact on people's lives. He also expressed hope that McGregor remains committed to his faith and continues moving forward without giving up, saying he believes the Irish star still has the ability to influence and encourage others far beyond the sport. Before reflecting on McGregor's situation, Jones also spoke about his growing role outside of competition through the International Boxing Association. He explained that the opportunity to become an IBA ambassador came after the organization's leadership reached out to him, recognizing both his accomplishments inside the cage and the connections he had built around the world. According to Jones, the experience has opened the door to meaningful friendships and introduced him to people he otherwise would never have met. Above all, he believes combat sports have a unique ability to unite people across different cultures, religions, and backgrounds, proving that a shared love of fighting can bring people together regardless of their differences. So, what do you think? Will Jon Jones make his long-awaited return sooner rather than later, or has he already fought his last fight? Let us know your predictions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more MMA news and updates.